Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Jenofeve Designs. I had attempted to make this traveler's notebook style scrap journal, junk journal. It's not really a junk journal, it's just more of like a journal, like a removable journal, all in one video for you guys. But I decided to pause and check how much footage I have, and I have lots. So what I'm going to do is break it up into 3 videos. There's going to be a video on the covers, a video on the pages and how I came up with these pages. I've even got a Franken page in here somewhere that's super cute, using up your scraps. And then I'm going to have a 3rd video for putting it all together and then adding the elastic to the album. In the first video, it'll just be the covers. That'll probably be the quickest video. But in the 2nd and 3rd video, I think it's going to be a little longer, and I'm going to be adding timestamps to those videos because when I was doing the pages, you know, I did like simple pages, and then I had to, because these are very large books, so your paper probably is not big enough. So I show you all different types of ways of making your paper big enough in a pretty way to go into your little journal here. So I will timestamp that video. And then the last video, I will be putting it all together in the journal. And then there was a bit of a issue. I'm not going to show you, but there was a bit of a problem that I had to overcome for the elastic. And actually, I think you guys are going to really dig the solution that I came up with. So that's in the 3rd video. So I will timestamp everything except the first video. Probably won't need any timestamps. And at the end of this video, there'll be a link like in a box on the screen that will be to the next video, because I'll probably post them all today or in the same day. So there'll be a link to the next video, and then that video, the 2nd video, the pages video, at the end of that video there'll be a link to the next video, and if not, they'll be in the description box below in order if you want to check that out. Okay, so on with the video. Today we're going to make the journal that's going to go inside of this scrapbook album. It's not really a mini, it's very large. It is part of the Basically Amazing Foundation printable scrapbook album templates that I have in my Etsy shop. There are 4 sizes. There's A, B, C, and D, and the A is the largest and the D is the smallest, and this is the B. So this is almost the largest. The next album we're going to make is going to be the largest. So these are pretty big albums. There are 4 fins or 4 sets of pages in this album, and we are going to make a scrappy type journal, traveler's notebook type, but not as skinny as a traveler's notebook. And we're going to put some elastic in here in the middle, and we're going to add that into here. So if you want to see how we made this album from start to finish, I have a playlist specifically for this album. And this album is called the Gingham Gardens, and it's by My Mind's Eye. And I have a playlist for this. It starts at the intro to the templates. They're available in my Etsy shop. And then it goes step by step all the way through this album. So that will be linked right here, and it'll be linked down below in the description box if you would like to check that out. I will have a link in the description box of this video for the templates, as well as for products that I use. I have a special Amazon list just for this album. I will link that down below, and then I'll have other places linked that I buy my products from. In my Amazon list, I do my best to, if I can't find the exact same thing, I try to find the equivalent of. And I have noticed, I've looked back at some of my old Amazon lists specifically for certain albums, and sometimes the pictures are changing. So I'm guessing that the store, the Amazon link, they had just changed what it was for. I don't know. So if you see anything weird like that, like one time I saw a camping tent, I'm like, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. So if you see anything weird like that, let me know and I'll check. But anyway, I'm going to put this aside. So we're going to be using some of the leftovers from this album. We're going to be using some coffee stained paper. We're going to be using the embellishments and things like that. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I've already prepped some things. And in the set of templates, there are side pocket inserts. So there's 2 different sizes for each size. So this is for the largest album. And then 30B and 31B are for the B size album, which is what we're working on. So I chose, this is the smaller one, actually. So this one's longer than this one, and I chose this one to make the journal from. It's on page 30B. Oops, sorry about that. 30B is the main page, and then the mat for that is on page 77B. So here is what I've done. I've already prepped the 2 pages. I printed 2 of 30B with the patchwork design onto white cardstock. I use 80-pound white cardstock, and I cut them out. I printed 2 of them, and I cut them out, inked them up on both sides, and they are ready to go. So what I'm going to do is the patchwork design is going to be on the inside of the cover, like this. So this is going to be the outside. So then page 77B, I traced this mat for the covers onto the pattern paper. Is that right? No. Let's see. Is that right? There we go. I traced it on there. I did not print it out. I traced it because I needed, this was the last bit I have left of this paper, and I wanted to use it for the covers. So what I did was I traced it, cut it out, inked it up, and then I took it through the sewing machine and just did a little bit of a zigzaggy all the way around. So I've got those 2 prepped. And then the last, and these are the 2 scraps left over from those white cardstocks, and I was experimenting with a fun little stitch there. Isn't that cute? I didn't use it, but I just wanted to see what it looked like. So anyway, I have those. And then the last thing you're going to need is on page 36B is the spines for all of those side pocket inserts. The side pocket inserts are the same height on every size. They're just different widths. So these are spines that you can use to make a booklet, because these books are so much bigger than your regular traveler's notebook. You needed to be able to take 2 pieces of paper and put them together, or 2 pieces of cardstock and put them together to make covers. So there are 3 sets of spines on here. And what I did was I cut them apart. So there's 1, 2, 3. I cut them apart. And then for one, I inked up both sides, well not both sides, but the middle part and the top and bottom. And I scored it, and it's ready to go. But I'm going to put these 2 back in the book for other journals. So I had that. And then I traced the mat for these. I traced them onto some coffee stained paper that I ran through the embossing machine. So coffee stained, this is just like regular copy paper, and I had coffee stained it, and these were just some leftover pieces that I had. Matter of fact, there's the page number, 55B. I ran it through the embossing machine with the cherry blossom embossing folder, right? Super cute, but it's so super thin. So when I did that, that kind of even made it a little bit more fragile. So I carefully inked it up, and then I kind of went like this with my ink. I just kind of went across the top like this to kind of bring out the embossing just a little bit with the ink. So that is walnut stain, distress oxide that I used. And then I took it through the sewing machine, but it is so fragile. It's so fragile. But this is the mats for that spine piece. Okay, so that, I'm thinking that's all we're going to need for right now. This was, I actually thought I was going to need 2 pieces. That's why I ran 2 through the embossing machine. So anyway, we'll use it for something. Okay, so there are several ways you can put these together. So you can take the 2 covers like this, and you can attach the spine to the inside if you want, right? And then so when they're both attached, it would look like this on the inside, right? You can do that, which is fine. And it'll look like this on the outside, so it'll look more like a full sheet of paper on the outside. So it will be attached like this, if you want to do it that way. All right. You just wouldn't want to go over that score. It'd be like that, and then your mats could cover the whole thing, and you wouldn't even need the spine mats. Right? You could do it that way, or the way I'm going to do it is I am going to have the spine on the outside, like this, and I'm going to mat it first, actually, and then have the spine on the outside. Yep, and then we're going to mat the spine piece with the coffee stained paper. So that is what I have decided I'm going to do, and then in the inside is where we're going to have all of our papers. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do, I need to decide which one of these I want on the front cover first. Let's do this one on the cover. Not that it really matters. First of all, we're just going to be attaching them to the back side here, but you see I'm kind of short over here. So that's okay. That part's going to go to the spine. So that's kind of why I was picking which one I wanted for the cover. So we're going to put it correctly on this side. And I got me a new bottle of Fabri-Tac. Super exciting. I know. Whoop. This is Fabri-Tac by Beacon. The other one was just killing my hand. So I poured it in the other bottle that I have where I save all of that stuff. So we're going to run this over all the way around all the edges where the sewing has taken place. And then I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of wiggle, circle, circle, circle around the inside. That is 100% not necessary if you don't want to do that. I don't think it's going anywhere. And then we're going to match it up over here on this side. And the great thing about Fabri-Tac, it stinks to high heaven, but it does give you wiggle room, and it holds really well. And if you get seepage, you can just rub it off with your finger. Like that. So I'm not worried about this because it's going to be covered up with that anyway. So I probably didn't even have to sew. I probably should have thought of that before, but I didn't. So then this one, I think we'll do it like this. And we'll bring it over to this side. So same thing. Let's add some glue. I even used the back of this so that I can ink my mats for the spine. Okay, let's add our cover pieces to the spine piece. Let's just start with this side, and we're going to put glue on the spine piece here. We're not going to go all the way to that edge. Let's see which piece is going to go here. This piece. This will be the back side. So I'm going to run a little bit of glue along this edge, just so we can be sure that we get glue where we need it, and a little bit onto the sewing too. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over this way, and I'm not going to go all the way to that score. I'm going to come maybe about a 1/16 of an inch from that score mark. I don't know how well you're going to be able to, it's not really picking up on my monitor, but it's just barely away from there. Like this. Yep, looks good. And then I'm going to flip it around, and we're going to do the same thing to this cover, or this side. That also gives us room for our pages to sit into. And it should match top and bottom. They should be perfect. If they're not, just trim it off. Just trim it off. Okay, I'm going to burnish this just a little bit, ever so slightly. I'm going to flip it over and burnish. Oops, I squished some out. You could, if you wanted to, you could run that through your sewing machine. I'm not going to, not right now, anyway. All right. Oh, I put my glue up, and I need it. So now we're going to glue these down. We're going to put the one that's a little bit more messed up on the back cover. And we're just going to add a generous amount of glue on this piece because it's so flimsy. But I was just using my leftover pieces. So that's what, you know, this is like a scrappy journal. I've got a journal that I just add things in that I really enjoy, and I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like if it's like a quick little watercolor painting that I did or something, and I don't really know what I want to do with it, I just stick it in this journal. And I like the idea of that, you know, just to have places to put favorite things. And I kind of feel like that's what this is going to be. Just a place to put favorite things, favorite memories that you have whatever you're memory keeping in that album, because this will be inside of it. Whatever you're memory keeping in there, this will be the place where you can stash, you know, stuff, and you can put special memories, and you can just, you don't even have to explain if you don't want to. You can just put it in there, just attach it to a page and move on. It could just be like a silly brochure or something from a touristy place that you went. You could just attach it in there, you know. All right, so covers are assembled. Just that simple. So now we have the covers. So, and we're going to let these dry. I'm not sure if we're going to embellish a lot on the covers because it is going to be in between, you know, two interactive pages, even though I scaled it back a little bit on the one of the pages, but it's still going to be like an interactive page, and we don't want to have anything getting caught up. So we may or may not do more to the cover. We'll just have to see. But we can start working on the pages, I think. Okay, guys, I hope you don't mind that I'm recording these intros and outros after the fact, but that's just kind of what happened. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the description box for all the important information for the playlist and for the product links and all of that. The links to the next video, they'll either be right here on the screen or in the description box, or both. So the next video will be the pages, and then the third video will be the assembling of the cover, or assembling the journal and the elastic. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and be sure to hit that bell notification and then turn your notifications on, and then that way you'll be notified every time I upload a video. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.